Why y'all doing? It's Dan. I want to welcome everyone to my home to sticks. Lord have mercy. Wherever you're at in the world, I hope you had a good week, and I hope you're having an even better weekend. But over here in East Central Mississippi, I'm here to tell you just about an hour ago, it was raining. Look at it now. Before we get started on today's video, I'm always going to say that if you are new to the channel, I want to welcome you. And if you're returning just to see what old Dan's got going on over her, I sure enough thank you for coming back. What I want to share with you and y'all today is Lord of mercy. I know it's not the right time, but I'm going to do it anyway. So give me a second, and I'm going to show you what I'm fixing to do. Dan, what you finna do over there at the Home of the Sticks? Well, I'm here to tell you, I know it is not the right time. I normally like to plant out my fall brassicas in the fall, but I'm going to try this this season for a couple of reasons. The first big reason is it's hard to find brassicas, and I use starts. I'm going to show you that here in a second. You could plant by seed. I just don't have the time to actually do the seeds, get them started, get them growing, harden them off, so I use starts. My second reason is collards are pretty expensive, so I'm going to try to start. I'm going to plant some out now and see what happens. The weather over here in East Central Mississippi is kind of wacky, but we're going to see what happens. I'm also going to plant out my shallots. You plant them out during the fall for maybe an early spring or early summer harvest, but I'm going to do mine now and just see what happens. So I'm going to show you what I got and where we're going to plant them at. So let's do that. All right, look at there. I got me a little bag, about maybe a quarter pound of shallots or shallots, depending on how you call them. And right here I have some brassicas, stonehead cabbage. I have some top bunch collards and some Maximo broccoli. We're going to plant these collards along with these shallots right here. And this is what we're going to plant our shallots and collards in right here. This 4-foot section of an 8-foot raised bed. Dan, can you plant shallots and collards together? Yes, you can. They complement each other. One won't have a problem growing with the other. I also like to plant in a method called crowding or overcrowding. The correct terminology for that would be intensive planting, but yeah, just however you want to call it. I just call it, I like to bunch all my plants up and grow stuff. So I'm going to set you up on a tripod. Let's get these shallots in the ground, and we're going to plant out some collards right behind it. Hopefully they'll grow well together, and we'll get a good harvest off of all of them. I'm still waiting on the true blue collards to come in. So the first thing I'm going to do on this side of the raised bed is I am going to use some bone meal, and bone meal is high in phosphorus. Shallots love phosphorus, and collards do as well. So I'm going to use some of this on the top of this raised bed, and I'm going to work it in. And I'm going to dig out some trenches for my shallots, and I am going to add in some worm castings to that trench or that furrow. So let's get this bone meal out. I'm going to go pretty liberal on this bone meal, and I'm just going to put some bone meal in there. Don't know how much that is. I'm just going to work it in. It's not going to hurt anything. And sometimes bone meal will get clumps in it like this, and all you got to do is just smash them boogers up and everything will be good to go. Get my little shovel thing, and all I'm going to do is just work that bone meal into the soil. Ain't nothing wrong with getting your hands in the dirt. Matter of fact, I'm going to use mine. That's why the good Lord give you these. They're good for mixing things, especially dirt. All right. Okay, next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make my little furrows to plant the shallots in. And I will take y'all off of that tripod and bring you in closer and show you exactly what I'm doing once I get it. I'm going to dig me a little furrow like that. I'm going to take my worm castings. I'm just going to sprinkle them right down this furrow. And this is what worm casting looks like. Just basically looks like dirt, but if you want to talk about some fantastic stuff to grow with, that's done. Let me get y'all off that tripod. All right, let's take a look and see what I done did. Maybe you can see it, but here's my furrow right here. And I got some mixed in some bone meal, as you can see right here. And I also put in some worm castings in this furrow right here. Next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna get our shallots in these furrows and then cover them up. So let's do that. How are we gonna plant these, Dan? Well, the root side is gonna go down and this pointy stem side is gonna go up. I'm gonna plant these out about 4 inches apart, and that's pretty much intensive growing because you should space these out, oh, I don't know, 10, 12 inches, 8, 9, 10, 12, something like that. But I'm gonna do about 4 inches. So I'm gonna get it like that. I'm a little nifty ruler, and yeah, by eyeballing, that's about 4 inches apart. So let's rock on. It don't have to be just show enough perfect. Well, I guess if you want it to be, you could. But let's get them planted out. Now what's gonna happen is, as these guys grow, this shallot right here is going to grow in pretty much this square right here. The next one is going to grow in this square, and so forth and so on. As these things grow, hopefully, they'll pull up some green stuff, and they'll have a whole bunch of these guys, kind of like this, connected to each other, kind of like that. And when you pull them up, it'll be like this, and you just rip them apart into these individual little bulbs, so to speak. And I'm here to tell you, this stuff is this is some fine eating right here. I love shallots. Up, let's go. Okay, this is what we ended up. We got 3 little 4-foot rows of some shallots and a little piece. So next thing we need to do is we need to cover these guys up. But there's a way that you cover them up. You want the little piece of the neck of the stem, you want that just above the soil. So yeah, let's do that. If we have to, we'll push that guy down, we'll cover it up just like that, where just this little piece of stem is coming out the ground. You have to push that one in and just cover it up. You can even firm it in if you want. You don't want to pack it down, because once the water hits these guys, you want that stem to be able to bust the ground. Now I'll get the rest of these done, and then we'll jump on those collards. All right, we are done. We got all of our shallots covered up, and as you can see here, I just have barely where the little tip of the stem is just sticking out the ground. Next thing we're gonna do, well, after we get the collards in the ground, we're gonna give these guys good water. Probably be best if I went ahead and mulched this as well. So I'm gonna have to find some hay to mulch this down with, just to keep some of that moisture in the ground. So let's work on getting these few collard plants planted next to these shallots. Okay, on these top bunch collards, they are extremely leggy. I'll get one out and show you what I'm talking about. So I'm thinking I'm gonna take these bottom leaves off, and I'm gonna go on and plant this guy pretty deep. Dig me a little hole right here, away from my shallots. And I'm going to take some all-purpose fertilizer, and this is a 444 if I'm not mistaken. Collards are nitrogen hogs. They like a whole bunch of nitrogen for the green. So if I had some 10-10-10, I'd probably use it, but I don't. So I'm going to sprinkle in a little 444, cover it up with a little bit of soil, and I'm going to stick this start right in the ground like that. I'm going to pull it up to it. We're going to let it rock just like that. We got 2 more to do. All right, there we go. Top bunch collard greens, got 3 plants. That's gonna be a whole bunch of collard greens for me. And we got our shallots in the ground. Nice. On this other side over here, this is probably where I'm gonna put the true blue collards, and I may even mix in some Georgia collards with it. So yeah, this is up and coming. These guys over here, I don't know where I'm gonna put them. I think I may put them in here once my bell peppers play out. I may put my cabbage and Maximo's broccoli in this bed right here. And we'll just see what happens. Since we're right here, I'm here to tell you that is some good looking bell peppers. They are growing good. Look at there. All right, Lord of mercy. That's what I wanted to share with you and y'all today. Getting some brassicas and some shallots in the ground. I think it is a bit too early. I normally do this towards the end of September going into October, but we're just going to see what happens. This is a good spot because I have this flowering Bradford pear tree right here. So this raised bed just doesn't get 8, 9, 10 hours of full sun. It gets maybe 5, maybe 6 hours of sun and some shade. So I think that's going to be safe planting this right here. But heck, we're going to find out. We'll see. And you know, Dan's going to bring you along. I'm going to give you some updates on that and see how it's growing on. So again, I hope everybody is having a show enough good weekend, and I hope you stay safe amid this crisis that we still have going on. If y'all like this video, go and give it a thumbs up to help. If you haven't subscribed to the Home and Sticks channel, Lord mercy, y'all need to come on over here, go down and look, because I'm always doing stuff like planting fall brassicas at the wrong time, just to see what happens. With that being said, you know it's coming down, referee show enough. Always gonna say it. Don't let nobody doubt your shine. And I mean nobody, you sure enough get your shine on, put them hands in the dirt and grow something. And Dan will see you and y'all in the next video.